So hello everyone, and welcome to the Outreach Committee meeting from the CCC. We have, so who we are. The Computational Computing Consortium is a community focused on open source lessons projects, securing data in use. Every member is welcome. And so hopefully we're going to have a good conversation today of what's happening. Here you have the antitrust policy. If you have questions, you can ask Helen or your own legal department. And so this is the agenda for today. Let me see if is Mike here. Let me see if he joined.
I am. Mike Farron-Jones from Intel.
Wonderful. Yeah, so we're going to get started with you regarding Wikipedia. Congratulations on that. That was a really nice news. We're going to talk about events, several events happening right now. Also travel funding, later analyst reports, a bit more about the website, webinar, and social media. So here's the directory of voting members. And Helen, do we have a quorum?
We do not.
Okay, so I guess the approval of outreach minutes is automatic, right?
Yep, unless there are any objections.
All right. Is there any objections? All right, so it's approved. So let's get started, and I'll let Mike speak about his experience and also other members of who were very helpful as well with the Wikipedia article.
Yeah, so it went live. The experience. This was the first time I've ever done this, so it was a everything was a learning experience. And by the way, Jake has been tremendously helpful in guiding us through this process. I also, have to shout out to the other folks that were kind of on the working team. Marcus Hartwig from Google, Chester Leung from Opaque, or they're Chester Leung, Aaron Yee, Nick. Nick's last name I'm gonna Molly Driss from Decentric. Sorry, Nick. But it's been everyone was super helpful in getting this done, and then Jake and his team that guided us into getting all the formatting correctly, all the linking, citations, and everything else was a pretty big lift to get it there. Because we are conflicted, we can't just publish it. So we had to post it in basically post it in my account's talk page. Then we cast out feelers to editors that are part of the other kind of interest groups within Wikipedia. And one of them looked at it and they saw that it was, very complete, well cited, it was clearly a quality article. They pushed it forward off of my talk page and put it into the articles for consideration queue. Now, when those queues come up, it says at the top, there are 3,813 articles ahead of you in the line. Expect this to take a while. Well, we let it sit there for a couple of weeks, and then I got impatient. And so I started asking about Jake about, hey, are there different ways that we can get attention to this and try and get some action on it? Because every couple days we'd get some little drive-by of an editor would come by and maybe make a comment, some of them more constructive than others. But nobody would dive in on the whole thing. They wouldn't take all 1,700 words and decide that this was good enough to be pushed forward. So what we did last week was we went forward and started doing some outreach to specific areas on Wikipedia. In particular, the one that bore fruit was this conclave of editors called the Tea House. And we wrote to them and said, hey, we've put this up. We did a lot of things to make it a high quality article. We took a lot of precautions against the conflict of interest. Would appreciate it if you guys took a look and spotted any obvious neutrality issues that could be a problem for getting it published. And an editor looked at it, saw all the work that we put into it, and just said, it's good enough, pushed it forward. And while Jake and I were still meeting, after we had posted it to the Tea House and we were talking about some other issues, it goes live. And so we're like, shit, looks what happened. And so now it's live on Wikipedia with all that entails. So since it has been pushed live, we've gotten some edits that have come in on different interested parties. And for example, one person came in and made a factually incorrect edit. They said that one of the side channel issues that we cited didn't affect AMDS, SEV, S&P. He said it only affected SEV, which was not true. The citation clearly stated that this researched vulnerability applied to both. And so we made the decision that we were just going to go ahead and undo that edit, even though it's really risky for conflicted editors to go back and make direct edits. We just undid that one. But then this other user called user is editing this page. This user created their account clearly, specifically just to edit this page. It was created, the account was created minutes before this first edit was made. And so it was, and the addition was, they put forward a use case that I think it's pretty obvious. This is one of the people who proposed this use case in this academic paper. And if you scroll down, Nick, I'll show you where the edit is. It's in that criticism section. Can you go up to the criticism section? I'll show you where I'm talking about. Up a tad. No, just scroll up. It would go up about half a page up from where you are, and you're good. Okay, right there. So this two paragraphs that start with Oxford University researchers, and then the paragraph that follows, that's the addition that editor put in. And it's not so much a criticism, it's a use case. And so Jake and I are working to say, okay, your use case that you're proposing, this confidential remote computing, needs to go up a section. And then your criticism, which is really phrased here as a complaint, needs to be re-edited to make it more of a criticism, which is that confidential computing today is not offered for PC processors, because his complaint here is that Intel deprecated SGX on client processors, and which essentially rendered his use case that he had wrote about in his academic paper moot. So we're going to propose that this particularly the second paragraph get that changed to saying, okay, your criticism, let's rephrase your criticism as there is no confidential computing in a PC processor today. But anyway, that's the kind of thing that we are going to have to go through. At some point, we are going to have to, we're either going to have to accept that the confidential computing consortium can no longer be the active stewards of this page. And we just kind of let it exist and let it be edited and let it to be, let it go within the Wikipedia rules. Or we're going to have to find a process by which we have an assigned steward of the page that knows what to do and how to do it. And we should decide whether or not that's me. I don't know if my boss wants me to sign up for that, but we should figure out how we want to handle this going forward. Sorry, that was probably more info than you wanted. Nick, I cannot hear you. You're on mute.
That's perfect. That's excellent. Thank you for this. Thank you everyone involved. And that last question that you had is exactly what Kurt was asking. If we're going to have a set of editors, we're going to look at the contents and tweak it and approve. So I think we have to ask the expert if that's the best way forward. I honestly don't know the answer, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, I think probably most of our action may come in the next couple weeks. The other thing that is an interesting question is that, because we use CCC definitions of confidential computing, the cloud provider stack has to be outside the trust boundary. And that means that AWS is not on the list. And I can bet you sooner or later, AWS is going to show up on this page and want Nitro enclaves included. And under the current Wikipedia rules, there's nothing that we can do to stop it, but we have to decide whether or not we want to argue with it.
Yeah, we have already seen some comments on Slack regarding that. So I also don't know how to approach that.
I mean,
yeah.
If they want to, I mean, the article is in the public domain now. So if AWS wants to edit it, they can edit it. But they also have to abide by the Wikipedia conflict of interest rules as well. So
exactly. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for all your work. This is excellent news. We're going to ask Lily, who's going to be representing us at the CC Summits, to announce the Wikipedia article. So thank you again. That was excellent.
Can I say something?
Of course, yeah.
I want to especially acknowledge Mike. A lot of people contributed to this article, but I want to especially acknowledge Mike for leading up this monumental effort. He corralled all the different viewpoints and fairly addressed them with the rest of the group. And he authored substantial portions of the content and spent countless hours finding the quality citations when it was hard for the rest of the group to do that. And then he worked with Jake, our Wikipedia art editor, to push this over the finish line. So congrats, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. No, it was I couldn't have done it without the support of everybody on there. There were several places where I got stuck, and you guys, the rest of the squad helped get us unstuck. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you, folks. So jumping to events. So I'm going to oops, wrong slide. So I'm going to invite, let me see if Kate is here. Oh yes, hi Kate. So I'm going to invite you to talk about RSA. So for those who are new, we have a strategy slide, also a spreadsheet of events. If you access this, you'll see a lot of information here of next events. And so I'm going to let Kate talk about RSA, which is coming up next week. And she's leading this. And Kurtz might also be able to join, which is fantastic. And we're going to have a lot of members there from Intel, Injuna, SUSE, Microsoft, and Fortanix. So Kate, please take it away.
Yeah, Mike, can I please share my screen?
Oh yeah, let me stop. Go ahead, please.
I mean, yours had all the information, but so as you all know, we'll be attending RSA, and it's happening next Monday through Thursday at Moscone Center. It's in San Francisco. And we basically set a goal of to really raise awareness of the Confluence Computing Consortium, as well as a perfect opportunity to promote the CC Summit to drive more participation there. And some of the key metrics to track how we're doing is listed below, but what our main goal is to really to talk more about the consortium and drive adoption, raise awareness of the confidential computing itself as well. And so some of the materials that we'll be bringing. Oh, before I get to that, so thank you everyone who helped connecting to their booths and the organizing teams to allow us to be present at their booths. So Anjuna and Fortanix and Intel has said yes, that I can spend some time there and also place our marketing materials, whatever that we're bringing, and promote CCC. So I actually wanted to check back in with you, Pawan, on the Microsoft. Do you have an update?
Yeah, so I just got the contact. I'll send a note right after this to connect you both.
Yeah, okay. Just feel free to give my email and I'll be able to swing by as well.
Thank you.
And also you'll let me know if any of you are going to be on site. I would love to see you in person. And so this is the sticker. I believe this was used before in previous events and things like that. And some of the ideas that I had was to bring in, this is like small business card that's front and back, has very, one single message. So for consortium sign up for newsletter, it would be one of our, CTA. And the other part is the Confidential Computing Summit. I also was thinking about this like 4x6 card with more of information. When people see Confidential Computing Consortium, they might not know what that means unless they go into this website. So for whatever case that I'm not there or anyone's there and they are seeing this material, I was thinking maybe have this small description, and so that will drive their curiosity to visit the website. So I wanted to get a pulse check on that with everyone here.
Yes, so Kate, this is really wonderful. Thank you for all your work. I think it's going to be really exciting. We didn't have a plan for RSA, and these past weeks you have jumped and embraced this. So thank you for that.
Right. So if everyone agrees or any other concern or any suggestion that we could make the change or anything before I print it out.
All right, thank you for that. So I'm going to share my screen now.
Okay. Okay, well,
I think this is great,
Thanks.
Kate. I think proceed.
okay. Alrighty, perfect. I'm super excited. Thanks, everybody.
And this is something that we really welcome everyone to do. If you want to present at a conference, even if you're not like 100% confident that you have what it takes to talk about computational computing, I'm pretty sure that you can. So at some events that we had, like State of OpenCon, so Liz was there. She was 1 month into her job, and she was able to pick that up really fast. And it's mostly about awareness right now. and promoting the CCC and the open source projects and the technology. So if you need any help as well, we're all available here to guide you here. So going to Latin America now, there's an event happening. It's a Web Summits Rio, and I'll be able to participate there. There's going to have a privacy and security track, and we're expecting 20,000 participants. It's a pretty large event as well. And I plan to copy most of Kate's strategy. So I'm going to also be printing those stickers, those flyers, and just bringing awareness around confidential computing rights. So thank you, Kate, for helping there. As you guys know, the big events for us this year is going to be the CC Summits. And I do have some news, some really exciting news. I just got this message right now. So let me see. So I got a message from Tucker. Oh, he won't be able to join the call. But let me explain a bit more what's the idea here. So can you folks see my screen?
Yep, we can.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. So for the CC Summits, we're planning something, a contest, an awards for use cases. And we're still working on this. I'm not sure if he shared. Let me see. No, it's not public yet. I'll try to ask him if he could share this more widely. But we're going to have this contest, and we're going to ask different companies who are going to be there to invite their clients to present those use cases. So on these sectors like the financial sector, healthcare, edtech, and others. And we really want to make this very engaging. And we're going to have, at the cocktail, we're going to have a celebration with the winners for each sector. So that's the news that I have. So if you're interested in participating in that, please keep an eye. We're going to be announcing this very soon. So that's pretty exciting. If you have any ideas about that as well, and how can we make it more engaging, please let us know.
Nick,
we're also trying
quick,
to, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, a quick question on the competition. Like, are there details that will be published soon on what will entail an entrance in the competition? Like, is it a demo, use case presentation, or is there details that need to be worked out?
Yes, they still need to work out. We're almost finalizing that. So I just got this like 30 minutes ago. I didn't get a chance to read it, but we've been discussing this for like 2 weeks now. But I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I believe we are going to have demos. We're going to be able to showcase videos. So we want to really bring, as part of the conference, as part of one of its goals is to showcase use cases. So yes, we'll provide more details soon. And if you want to be part of that as well, to organize this, please let us know. Okay.
Hey, Nick, this is Jack. I jumped on the call because I saw that Nick couldn't, and I'm sending out a link.
Yeah, Jack. So do you want to discuss a bit more about the awards?
Yeah, let me throw this in the chat.
Okay.
And I think one of the features was that we don't want to limit it to just use cases that are fully deployed, because we're interested in understanding the challenges that confidential computing can address as well. Recognizing that a lot of people are looking and planning, but might not be at the full deployment. So we documented that. So let me know if I put it in the chat room link here for people to access, and once you double check, make sure that the permissions are set up right.
I'm able to see it, so.
Yeah.
Oh, let me change it to editor too, so people can comment. And then we group them by 4 areas: financial services, healthcare, ad tech, and then a general other. And in the write-up, they have to answer, what is the problem, and then how does confidential computing provide a solution? And then there'll be a group of judges to review and determine what the winner is. We need to kind of finalize what the criteria are for that. And then there's some suggested social copy, et cetera, that they put in. And I think I captured I did this really quickly from the master.
Yeah, Jack, thank you for putting this together with your team. I think that was a great idea, and it's going to really make it more engaging, the conference. So thank you, and attract more audience, right? So yeah. So let's jump to, thank you, Jack. So jumping to the next one. So we can
hey,
talk about.
Nick,
Go
sorry
ahead.
to interrupt. I was searching
No
for
worries.
the raised hand button, and just back on that one. Are those the use cases judged? I mean, you said we had to just determine the criteria. Do they need to be like coded in software, or do they just need to be proposed as a model? It's like,
Yeah,
here is a use case.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should look on work on the description. But I think if part of this is to help people understand and have the kind of use case complement to a lot of the tech that's going to be discussed at the conference. So this was one way to kind of elicit some of those perspectives. So we didn't want to limit it to just things that had already been in production, but they have to be real, and have to have some details in terms of, so how does confidential computing and how does the proposed stack address and meet the needs of that specific use case?
I would propose that we don't make it a requirement that's like, you have had to have coded this in software. I think it would be something that you would have to maybe propose it in, propose an architecture, of how it would be done. But I think we would want to keep the bar low enough that we're encouraging people to think about it. And it's like, hey, I could maybe do this, with confidential computing. And, here's a napkin drawing of how it would work. I think we might want to encourage that rather than only raise the bar to the point that, yeah, you have had to have written the software itself. That would be my vote to gain participation and creativity.
Right.
I think that's spot on. How do we word say it has to have a proposed architecture? What's the best way to make that point succinctly?
It would maybe be, proposed architecture, or maybe just call it even just a basic, a basic operational architecture, or something that would say that you need a block diagram, or a flow chart, or something that shows that you did apply some actual technical rigor to thinking about how you wanted to do it, but you don't need to go all the way to have actually coded and debugged and validated it. That would be that. I'm thinking that's somewhere where the sweet spot would be, which is creative thinking, a little bit of technical rigor, but not all the way to production.
Yes, and also I would like to add highlight a comment from Paul Wan. He said, "This is great. We should also think about something that covers social good. So something for public schools, health, And if we could add that category, I think that would be really interesting as well.
Jack, would it be possible to also, in the spirit of collaboration, perhaps open up all of the submissions, put them in the public domain so that others can see all the use cases, not just like the handful of winners? I think that would be useful
Yeah, maybe we ask them,
if they want to make it public.
yeah, or, I mean, we would, I think, that's a good suggestion. I mean, the winners, we want to make those public and define it. So I think that's a good idea. Have a gallery of submissions or something.
Yeah, this is, I am not smart enough nor technical enough to participate in this, but I would imagine that there might be some folks who are thinking this like, hey, this is kind of my intellectual property and I need to protect it. If you're a you're a grad student, you're thinking of this is going to be the basis of your startup. I don't know, maybe it's those people aren't going to participate because they're guarding their IP anyway. And this is just people who are like, hey, I have an idea and this pops it out there. I'd love to see this in the world.
Yes, yeah. So one of the original thoughts about this was to help bring clients also to this conference, not just vendors, right? So by actually bringing clients, it will be more attractive. And I think clients would like to, some clients perhaps would like to promote their cases, right, publicly.
Yeah, so I think it'll self-select. I think this concern is it'll self-select, but I do agree that from a outreach and a marketing perspective, it's better that among the terms and conditions is that when you submit your proposal, you're agreeing that this will be made publicly available and promoted. And we can also I'd love to start, it's particularly the really cool ones would be great things to put on social and say, hey, look at this great idea that came from Confidential Computing Summit. Look at this great idea, and that would be, I think you could have do some engaging social on that, either from the summit or kind of in the wake of.
Perfect. Yeah. So thank you, Jack, again. I'll jump forward because we still have a few topics to cover. But
Right.
everyone who wants to yeah, can you put your email, Jack, so people can reach out to you?
Yeah.
On chats. All right. Thank you very much. So we did mention in our last meetings that we want to participate more at the Linux Foundation events. So, for example, Open Source Summit Vancouver is coming up. In fact, right now we're having KubeCon, and I believe maybe Marcella, maybe this is the right time for you to introduce yourself. Are you having an announcement there at KubeCon?
Hi. Hello there. So yeah, happy to introduce myself. So I work for Spectral Cloud, and we are a new member now. And I take care of our social media, hence me also joining here to see how we can collaborate together. And yeah, we're now at KubeCon, and we just shared a few announcements around collaboration with Intel on Senna. And then we want to also leverage being at KubeCon to talk about being a new member in CCC.
Wonderful. Yes. So we want to share that over our newsletter as well on social media. I think we already sent the details by email, how to get in touch with our social media specialists. And we want to cover KubeCon as well. We didn't have anything planned for that, but I'm glad that you're participating and sharing computational computing there as well. So I believe.
If you can support in any way, yeah.
Thank you. So, Ants, you're also with Spectral Cloud, right?
Yeah. Hi, guys. I am indeed, and yeah, I've been working with Tori and some of the guys from Intel on whipping our white paper on Senna into shape. So I'm not a confidential computing expert. I'm non-technical, but I did edit the confidential computing section of the Senna white paper, so I have an inch of knowledge to stretch. Yeah, so when it comes to stuff like insertion in newsletters or any other sort of joint promotional pieces or things like blogs, I'd be involved in that. I look after the content side of things at SpectraCloud alongside Marcella.
Wonderful. So this is really great. Anything that you folks want to share when you're attending those events? What are if you're speaking, if you're talking, if you're making an announcement, please share with us at the social media Slack channel. And also we can put on our newsletter. And so this is a great way for us to share this information.
Yeah.
So KubeCon is happening right now. We're also going to have next month open source summits in Vancouver. And we're going to have a lot of interesting talks, especially from Intel and SUSE. So maybe Jeff, would you like to discuss a bit more what you are doing at Vancouver?
Sure. So we have Wojtek, who's our general manager for confidential computing, and he'll be talking. The session is finally in the agenda. If anyone has gone out to take a look, it'll be the first day of the conference. And
What?
I'm sorry.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be on May 10th.
Wonderful. So in Vancouver, we have a lot of talks. Also, we want to know how our participation is going to be at Open Source Summits Bilbao and KubeCon, not just KubeCon Chicago, but also Shanghai. So one of our board members, he really wants to have some kind of participation in Southeast Asia, in China. And this is a perfect opportunity for us to present something there. KubeCon Shanghai. It has been announced that it's going to be September, the end of September. So let's see how we can make it happen. Also for Open Source Summits Bilbao and KubeCon, would the CCC like to have a booth there? And this is something that we have to discuss, right? But it's just a second. All right, sorry about that. So Kurt, I believe you're checking if we can have a booth there, both at these events, and if it's worthwhile for us to be there. And also maybe we can share that with OpenSSF or the CNCF or any other Linux Foundation projects. So yeah, let's see how that works. Finally, I would like to talk about travel funding as well. And we want to help to bring as many people as possible to these events and to promote CCC. So Kurt is also working on this, on creating a travel funding form that people can send submissions. And right now, I would like to invite somebody who would like to make a proposal. So her name, let me see if she's here. Yes, so Vidya, welcome. If you'd like to introduce yourself and talk about what are your plans and what's your proposal, please go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone.
We can hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you so much, Nick, for having me here today. And first of all, congratulations, Mike, for your successful publication with Wikipedia. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so I'm Vaishali. I'm from India. I'm currently an undergraduate, and I'm currently a mentee with Confidential Computing Consortium at Outreach. And life is moving around confidential computing these days, my life. So I'm here with a proposal as you can see, India in Delhi by We Make Devs. And I really want to speak and vouch for confidential computing as a speaker there. So talking about We Make Devs, it's an organization in India working for students who are from technical background or non-technical background. So all of them, okay, so here's the thing that like in India, there is a college hierarchy, like the tier 1 college get good placements tier 1 college gets good placements, and tier 3 and 2 tier 4 college does not have the privilege of they have to apply for off campus. So this organization came forward for inclusivity in the area of study or something like that. Oh, I'm getting nervous, I'm so sorry. So here's
Oh,
my
no worries.
proposal.
Go
Any
on.
questions, anybody?
Yeah, so
would like to
I would like
interact.
just to, yeah, so I would like, thank you. Sorry for missing your name, Vaishali, right? Is that how I pronounce it?
Vaishali,
Yeah, so
anything.
Vaishali, yes. So Vaishali has been working with us as part of Outreach for, I believe, 4 or 5 months. And she has been publishing a lot of articles, really interesting about confidential computing. So you can check, I put the links as well. They're very informative, and she's learning a lot. This is something that she's really interested in. So she has 3 articles here about confidential computing with a lot of diagrams. And this is a great experience for her to learn about what's happening and to share with others as well. So I feel that it would be really good for her and for us as well, for us, for this travel funding and diversity. And in my opinion, we should approve this. And Vidya, I see that you have your hands up. If you want to comment on that as well, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to give Vaishali a word of encouragement. I think all of us have been there. Vaishali, you're doing a great job. Yes, we're all here and everyone's been in your shoes at some point or the other. So, hope.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
completely agree.
Yes, so I move to approve these budgets. If anyone has any objections, please let us know. But I would say, hey, let's give Vaishali a chance to take some photos there, to get people involved, to get more mentees for the outreach program, and more people interested in learning about this, right? So does anyone has any objections?
No objections here, anyway.
Wonderful.
All right, so Vaishali, it's more work for you. Prepare those slides and prepare to travel there. And thank you so much for all your help and all your articles as well. We're going to start sharing those articles as well.
Thanks so much for giving me a platform. Okay.
All right, yeah, my pleasure. So I think we want
Thank
to
you
do
so much.
more
Thank
of
you so much,
this.
everybody.
Yeah, my pleasure. So I think we want to do more of this and help people from academia, from diverse backgrounds, and they're helping us to have a bigger reach as well. So Kurt will be helping us on drafting a proper travel funding so people can send a proposal. And so let's see what's the next topic. Oh, yes. So the analyst reports, this is something that Kurt is also analyzing. And with the Linux Foundation research, he's talking to Hillary. And we want to make sure that we can have a report by the end of the year, hopefully. And Kurt, are you available? I'm not sure if he's online.
So it looks like Kurt updated the slide and Hillary said with the budget that we have, the 60K, we should do a survey style report and he'll email the details. Yeah.
Oh, yes, wonderful, perfect. So I think we should move forward with that as well, because we are waiting in April, almost May, and we have these budgets that we have to spend. And the efforts reports, I think it was very useful, but we need to renew that. And also, I would like to highlight Mike's comments of creating a Venn diagram where we have both confidential computing, compliance, and cybersecurity. And so this is something that we have to pursue, I believe. So let's continue working with Kurt and Hallery and see how we can make this happen. Does anyone has any further comments on this? All right. So now jumping to the CCC websites, so I believe Ben is online still. Let me check. Ben, are you here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Wonderful, great. Would you like, so before you comment, I think the website looks really good. There are a few issues with the website, especially because before we were using Gutenberg for our content. And since we're not using Gutenberg anymore, you can see that some of the content has broke, but we're fixing that. So the newsletter also, Helen, are you sure we have 2,000 subscribers? This is something I want to check with you.
That's what it says to me.
All right, so I want to learn a few more about this. So yes, Ben, please take it away.
Actually, I don't really have any updates. I mean, we're live on terms of the website. I know there's a lot of changes that the Linux Foundation creative team is kind of processing, working through. If there's any additional comments, there is a spreadsheet we can track it, but you can also just ping me or ping Helen, and we can make sure it gets entered into that the appropriate spreadsheet to be tracked and resolved. And then having said that, if there's any, if you know, this was kind of a revitalization of the website, an overhaul, which is to say that we were trying to think of what we needed and get it up there, but it does not necessarily mean that we might have missed some pages. So if there's some content you feel either needs to be expanded upon, or some pages, new pages that we don't have, yeah, please let us know. Please give us some ideas so that we can think about it. And if you want to draft it, even better. But at least an explanation of what you think is missing would be very useful.
Wonderful. And again, we would like to invite you to participate in our blog. If you want to promote a content there, as long as it's neutral, right? It's not like a product pitch. If you want to talk about any interesting topic around computational computing, please let us know. So we can see here that Alec has published something around attestation in our blog, and we really want to populate that blog with a lot of contents, and you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, and also the other thing to think about in terms of the blog is, you know, not only is, instead of always trying to think about making new content, if you wrote a blog, or one of your colleagues wrote a blog, we can repost that blog on the confidential computing site. That's one option. If we have, and besides the blog, if anybody sees any great confidential computing articles in the news media, we can, not on the blog section, but in the news section, we can make sure we post that as well. Those are all good things to kind of drive some attention, keep the website fresh and alive. And if you're doing anything in the confidential space, whether it's the folks earlier, and like yourself, Nick, you said you can go visit, you're going to go to Rio. So that's a good opportunity to write a blog. Either write a blog and say what you're going to do, or write a blog and say, this is what we did, and talk about the experience, talk about the event, talk about some of your conversations. You can do both. You don't have to do one. And that allows you a venue to advertise or promote, hey, there's going to be this person representing the CCC at this event. So please consider those different things. And it can also be for your own organization, maybe your company XYZ, and you are going and you're going to talk about confidential computing at some particular event. Talk about it. Talk about why it's a good event. Talk about why it's a good venue for having this conversation on confidential computing.
Excellent. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So I'd like to make the invitation to Spectre Clouds. If you want to write about KubeCon and your experience that you're having this week. Also, Jeff, you want to talk about the experience that Susie is going to have at Open Source Summits in Vancouver. The blog is open. The blog is yours, right? As long as it's not a product pitch, you're welcome to participate there and publish your contents. And the same is valid for webinars. If you have any interesting topic that could be a good webinar, please let us know. So we're going to have one in May from ARM, and they're going to give a talk about what they're doing at ARM. If you want to do a webinar with us as well, let us know. The floor is open. This space is for you as well. And social media.
Before we get too far away
Yeah,
from
go ahead.
that topic, I think I would like to extend an invitation to our guest Vishali to have maybe her do a blog on the site,
Mhm.
either from her experience in the contest or the event that you're participating in, or just your views as a young developer in confidential computing.
Completely agree. Yeah, that would be great. All right, and social media as well. So I think we have this. I think that we have a big achievement. We arrived at a big achievement these past few months, because right now we have, if you think about it, we finally have a proper website with a newsletter, with a blog, of course. We have a proper social media. We have a specialist that's helping to publish this across different social media. Webinar, we have to pick that up as well. We have the whole platform. If you want to share your contents together with us, this is the perfect moment. And now with the CCC Summits coming up, we want to create this momentum, right? So this is the right moment to come together and to work with the CCC. So also LinkedIn, we're growing a lot. We're growing more or less 100 followers per month. Right now we have 1,170 followers. Twitter is a bit slower. I don't know why. Maybe Elon is destroying Twitter for us. but we don't have the blue subscription. But again, please feel free to use our social media. We have our Slack channel there. If you found any interesting article about confidential computing you want to share, or your own contents, just post it there on social media, and we're going to Noah, who's our specialist, is going to retweet that or post that. All right. And we are almost over. I had to run a little bit this past 10 minutes. So I'd like to thank everyone for all your help and for promoting confidential computing, and enjoy the rest of your week.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, folks. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.